Hey, have you ever been searching for seashells by the seashore? Like maybe Sunnyside or Sarasota or Santa Monica, Savannah. Yeah. Wow. This is Randy Palmer, and it's time for some not so crazy talk about searching for seashells on the shores of life and finding some keepers. Growing up, I was fortunate. We traveled around, and as part of that traveling around, due to my father's job, also due to going to visit family and being able to spend time with them, we were able to search for seashells at various seashores, not just Santa Monica, Sunnyside, or Savannah, but there's a lot of other little seashores that we have searched for seashells. And we found some really cool seashells. Now, sometimes we went looking for seashells and we found them. You know what I'm talking about? You get up and in the morning times is a good time, you know, and I can remember taking the nieces and nephews when they were young out. We would go looking for seashells, and you're like, oh man, that's cool, that's neat. Oh, look at that one. And then other times, they found you. And by that, I mean, like, you know, you're walking along or maybe running along on the beach, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, your foot goes down, and you're like, ah! You found a seashell. And sometimes, really, you found part of a seashell that was maybe sticking up in the sand, and like, oh boy, what pain, you know? Other times it might have been that you were walking along just taking a leisurely stroll, like these two people I see out here. I can't show them to you, but leisurely stroll, just enjoying the morning or enjoying the afternoon, whatever it may be, and then the waves wash up several shells, and you're like, oh my goodness, look at that shell, or look at that shell. And you're just excited, man, and you got to reach down and grab hold of the shell, and you want to hold on to it, and you want to examine it, you want to listen. Did you hear anything? Searching for the seashells, or whether the seashells found you, I think if you've ever done that, you can relate to it. And, you know, as I said, you'll want to stand there, you'll want to take the shell, you'll hold on to it, you'll look at it, and sometimes maybe you'll stick it in your pocket and walk along with it, and you think, man, I would like to keep this. And then, you know, it becomes apparent it's just not going to be practical to hang on to these shells, and so you place them back on the beach so that others may be able to enjoy them, and you go along on your journey. There are those, though, those shells that you do find sometimes. You're like, man, this shell is a keeper, and it is practical. Not only is this shell a keeper and beautiful, but it's practical for me to be able to take it back with me. And so you take the shell back and you get it to your home, and it becomes part of your home's decor. I've seen people utilize shells in a lot of different ways. The really big shells, you may find them sitting up on a mantle or a bookshelf. Other shells, little mason jars, some decorations on it, that kind of a thing. And it's just full of shells. And, you know, each shell represents a different beach sometimes, and a different place and a time in life. My father, we have a really cool piece of decor that some friends made for him when he was here in 2016, and he picked up seashells, and they put his initials on there. So, man, there's some really creative Pinterest people out there too. And some of you, yeah, that applies to some of you. I'm looking at you and at you. Yeah, you come up with some great, wonderful, creative ideas, ways to take the seashells that you found and to put them in your house, and they become a part of your decor. Do you look at them every day? Do you get out every day and pull out your seashells and go, oh, look at here, look at my little seashell? No, not necessarily. But they are there, and there are those days and those times when your eye catches those seashells and you're like, oh, man. And it's like it brings back all these memories come flooding back. And, you know, maybe even you just kind of close your eyes and go, ah, and you can like smell that salty air and hear the ocean. Oh, dude. And you're like, oh, man, you're just relaxed and you love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a source of comfort, a source of joy, that seashell it is, right? Yeah, you been there? Child, you know what I'm talking about. Not only did my father's job allow us to travel, it meant that we moved from time to time. When you're young and you have to be the new kid in school, moving's not always a fun thing. You know? It can be painful. It can be tough. But as I've gotten older, and as my life has changed, and I look back on that, and my brother and I, we talk about this often, is I begin to see each one of those places that I stopped, and each place that we lived, even as an adult for me, as I moved around, that they are life seashores. And on these seashores, each little seashore that I went to, there were seashells that caught my attention. A collection of seashells. And there were some beautiful seashells, and there were some seashells that had some distinct characteristics, and you had just enjoyed these seashells, man, and you're like, wow, I'd love to take these seashells with me when it's time to move and go somewhere else. But, you know, it wasn't always practical. Our car, they wouldn't all fit in our car, and then some of them had jobs, and they had families, and they had to stay there. But anyway, you had these, though, man, and you're like, wow, it was just great. So you're grateful for that. And then there were those that come across some of the most wonderful shells in the world, some of the most beautiful shells in the world, and thankfully, through technology and life circumstances, we've been able to hang on to those. They were keepers, man. I mean, these were keepers. These shells, these people, they were keepers. Not only were they keepers, they were sustainers and they were encouragers. They showed up at weddings and they showed up at birthday parties, or they remembered your birthday. They called you after the ball games, which you won some and you lost some, and they were there to encourage you. They called you maybe in the middle of the night, and, hey, I'm in town, you want to go get pizza? Or maybe they called you and pretended to be someone in need of help, and like, Brother Palmer, can you come down here and, you know, give me $100? All those kind of things, man. They were there, and they sat with you and ate food with you in the hospital waiting rooms. They stood by you, the gravesides. While you may not see them or hear from them for years on end, wow, when you hear their voice again, or when you see their face again, man, instantly, you know, it's like, just like that. I mean, you smile, man. Just the thought of them makes you smile. The mention of their name, it makes you smile. And a lot of times it makes you laugh, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. Those keepers in life that bring us joy, and they bring energy, and they bring excitement to our life. And they, as I said before, they're encouragers, they're sustainers. I am grateful for that. And I would not have had those had I not traveled along a variety of seashores. All of you who are out there and you are a keeper, whether I hear from you seldom or I hear from you often, if you're watching this video, as a matter of fact, you're a keeper. You've hung in here with me, and I've hopefully hung in there with you. I want to say to you, like Paul said to the Philippians, I give thanks to God for every one of you. And I mean that. I am very grateful for the friends and the keepers in life that God has blessed us with. Whether we see you often, or we see you, man, once in every blue moon, and then we pick up right where we were. I am very, very grateful to God. These shells that we would find, man, they came in all kinds of sizes, and they came in all kinds of shapes, all kinds of colors. Man, it was just to see what God has done, man. We serve a
This video is dedicated to the memory of Tom Pittman, who, like this shell right here, was a keeper. It was his passing that, as I reflected on his life, on his friendship, that got me headed down this whole path of thinking about great friends that you come across being like fantastic shells, keepers in life. I want to thank you for taking time to watch some not so crazy talk. Hope you have had a good day. If you enjoyed the video, would you give us a thumbs up? Maybe, Hank, there's no little praise hands, are there? I don't know, high five. Anyway, any comments you have, put them down in the section below. If there's someone who you think would enjoy this video, maybe they are a keeper to you, share this video with them, or maybe send them a seashell. And as always, in the words of another keeper, hey, keep on keeping on.